You will see listed the names of many people that are possibly familiar with you, to you because either you knew them or you know them now, or these are folks that have left their mark on the community. Maybe there are streets named after them. Maybe they established businesses that are still functioning and producing income for all of the folks that are earning their livings there now. We find that there are 50 names listed, names that are etched in Wayne's history, people that accomplished really big things to the extent that Wayne has grown from a village to being a city. Some of the people that have participated with the Chamber in the past are now currently serving in political office and looking out for our interests. I hate those 11 words. I hate those 11 words. I'm here from the government and I'm here to help you. But anyway, the truth is that many of these past presidents have participated and left comments because they couldn't come personally to speak tonight. And so in our portion that is going to be past presidents and member comments, we are going to have the opportunity to read some of their remarks. However, I've got some real live past presidents here, and they're going to have to speak for a few minutes and give you some of their recollections. I won't require them to talk for the hour and a half that I had originally scheduled. I'm going to let them get off with the 4 or 5 minutes that they pleaded for. Among our past presidents that are here this evening, I'm going to offer first, possibly to hear from a lady past president, Connie Shotwell. Connie, if you have any remarks, now is your turn.
Thank you, Bill. I didn't know you were going to start right off with me. I mean, I'm the oldest one here in priority.
I would, you know, you could say best looking among, or something like that. You don't have to...
Whatever. Okay, thank you, and welcome everybody to the 50th anniversary dinner dance. It's really nice to see a lot of people here that have been around and helping the Chamber and helping the community for many years. Don asked us to maybe reflect on some of the things that we might remember that happened or were going on during our reign, and so I made some notes, and rather than try and miss something, I'm going to read this to you so I don't leave out some of my thoughts that I had. The most memorable event for me was the election to the presidency for the Wayne Chamber of Commerce. Since there had been no previous women presidents, I felt it was a great honor to be selected the first. This didn't come about by accident, it seems. I'd been serving on the board and was currently the first vice president. And it was made known to me by some of the other board members at that time that they expected me to serve as their next president in September of 1977. Well, I chuckled a little bit to myself because I knew the term of office that I had was expiring. And according to the bylaws, each board member was to be off the board for a minimum of 1 year before returning to serve. Therefore, I was off the hook. Ha ha. Much to my surprise, the rest of the board members got their heads together and decided it was only right that the first vice president should continue on to the chair of the president and set out to amend the bylaws. In April of 1977, the bylaws were changed to read, members of the board are not to be reelected for 1 year after the term expires, except for that person nominated as first vice president who is serving the 3rd year of their term. This bylaw change was passed in May 1977, and I was elected president effective September of 1977. The major accomplishments that happened during my reign was the much-needed renovation of the chamber offices to include a new roof. This also included painting and a new heating unit and many other inside improvements. The improvements were completed in January of 1978 with a loan of $4,350 taken out to cover the improvements. We then solicited the pledges from members and got excellent response. Our loan was paid in full July 23rd, 1979, 18 months after completion of the remodeling, so I think we did a real good job in a short time. Another major accomplishment was the formation of a Political Action Committee, a PAC committee, and we appointed Jim Lentz, Dale Weston, Jack Dimmer, and Bob Hutchison was the chairman of that committee. This committee was responsible for many decisions that have benefited the chamber members over many years. I'm proud to have been the first woman president of the chamber, but more so, I'm proud to have been a member of the chamber for approximately 15 years, and I've seen it grow, and I've benefited from its progress the same as all of you have. I thank you all for letting me share my small part with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Connie. Another past president that is very close to the microphone is Patricia Feight. Patricia?
Slight adjustment here.
Thank you, Bill. And may I congratulate the incoming president and the new board of directors on your election to your positions for the coming year. You know, when Bill asked me to say a few words about the year of my presidency, and I can't believe it's 7 long years ago, I listed some of the programs we put in place on a sheet of paper, like Connie. But as I did that, the realization that this is our chamber's 50th year celebration came to me. And in light of that, I had to reflect a moment on the significance of what 1 year can make to the total sum of 50 years. I then recalled a speech I'd heard some 30 years ago about an amazing new infrared camera that the military had developed to install on airplanes. And as the plane flew over enemy territory, the camera could take a picture of what had been in a certain location for up to several days before. For instance, a woods that had been concealing a tank division but had moved out could be photographed by the heat that was left. I began to reflect on that. Yes, we had the responsibility for 1 year. And in that year, we unknowingly were feeling the warmth of the past 40 years and those many persons who had contributed with mind, body, and commitment to a better community. In the year we were privileged to serve, we started a Chamber of Commerce Merchants Committee in the back office of my former store with 5 or 6 retailers who were determined not to lose any more business belonging in Wayne to our very noticeable neighboring shopping areas. At first, we just pooled a few dollars to put in a joint ad in the paper, or to have WSBS from Ypsilanti, the local radio station, broadcast from Wayne during a promotion, or to have searchlights brought in for Midnight Madness sale. Our motto was, no matter how crazy the idea sounds, bring it and put it on the table. We tried everything, from brown bag Friday noon concerts in the park to balloon and helicopter rides. Then as we attracted other merchants to our group, we adopted a budget to plan our promotions more effectively. Now we have up to, and sometimes over, 50 retailers participating in 5 promotions a year with a budget over $3,000 for each promotion. Another idea that was hatched in the back office was the "We're on the Ball, Shop in Wayne" sign seen all year long at the corner of Wayne and Michigan. The sign is changed for each promotion and certainly is noticeable to all the traffic. What satisfaction it is to know that out of our little back office meetings, enough heat was generated that a discernible picture could be taken. We also had the first Wayne Chamber Directory, a very impressive magazine that was sent by the Chamber to all those inquiring about Wayne and the possibility of living here or starting a business here. It was used in offices as a reference and in reception rooms in the area. We had a new member reception in the newly renovated building of Jarrett Mills and Schron. We had a very active speakers committee who provided some excellent luncheon speakers for us, and the luncheon crowd began to grow. But then when I think back that Bill Garrett was my vice president, Carolyn Archibald the second VP, Norm Wood the treasurer, with directors of Bill Mulholland, Frank Gabbert, Georgina Cerenzi, Bob Deeney, Jerry Jarrett, Keith Millar, John Dawson, Jack Dimmer, Art Allen, Sandy Metzigian, Don Stroker, and Donna McEachran as executive secretary. It was a no-nonsense working machine. All I had to do was grab the brass ring and hang on. Yes, we left a heat impression, and I hope will warm those that are going on, and in the next 50 years, that some of the heat of our efforts will still be traceable in the broad picture. Thank you for Bill Garrett for carrying the torch this past year, and I hope the new president and board of directors will be buoyed up by the past as you look to the future for the Chamber. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pat. Bud Stein, past president. Please.
Well, inasmuch as I go back 31 years, I could think of a lot of tall tales that I could tell you all. But I think, thinking back, the one thing that stood out in my mind is that I didn't do anything in my year of office that jeopardized the Chamber of Commerce. So it still exists today.
Bob Schron. You're hiding back there. He is, Mr. Schron.
Continues to exist, and I'm sure for the next 50 years it will continue to be just as strong as it has been over the past 50. During my tenure, I guess my grandfather would say there was some good news and some bad news. The good news was that we had a business retention study which was done in cooperation with Michigan Bell. Michigan Bell came to us and they said, we'd like to help you do a study on how to retain and attract new business to the city of Wayne, and we said, fine, we'll be glad to do that. And then they told us, well, the first thing we want you to do is tell us what's wrong with the city of Wayne. And go out there and talk to your people and have them tell you what they would like to see changed. We did that, and hopefully that document will serve to help people in the future. That was the good news. The bad news, as I recall, was that I think during my administration was the first year that Bill Copeland hired Kamikaze Betty to take us to the baseball game. She didn't break down that year, but she was still Kamikaze Betty. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. We have many other presidents, of course. You had 5 minutes for 50 presidencies. You guys are going to be here for a minute or two. But what we do have, since we can't call on all of those people to be here tonight, is some of their written comments from just 3 or 4 more of the past presidents. I get to share this part of the duty with Kirk Tyler. Kirk, would you join me up here, please? If you would, I'll let you read the remarks of 2 of the past presidents.
I have one from Jim Lentz from 1976. He sent in a letter stating that Don asked me to write a little something about my reign as president of the Chamber of Commerce. Admittedly, I don't recall a lot about it, as I believe it was about 12 years ago. when I had the honor of serving. However, I do recall that Jack Tarrant was our president before I took over, and Connie Shotwell came in shortly after me. We had a good time and enjoyed most of our meetings. Suppose we had a few bummers, though, like everyone else runs into. Guess the biggest thing I do remember was Jack as president, me as vice president, interviewing ladies for our executive secretary's job as Leila Brown-Gar had gotten married and was moving back to Indiana, where she hailed from. This was quite a task, as Leila had been with the chamber for years, and we didn't know how we were ever going to be able to replace her. Then came along Donna, and she was then the helm, and since has been doing a terrific job too. However, we got two such wonderful gals back to back is beyond me. Sorry I could not be with you tonight. I would like to have been there, but I have one daughter in Camp Holly by 6 this evening, and another daughter was playing at an orchestra concert at EMU at 8, and I could not be at 3 places at once. As we all know, the officers and board of directors are important to the chamber, but the one who really holds the fort down is our executive secretary, and I feel that we are most fortunate to have Donna holding down our fort. May our very best to the Waynesboro and keep up the good work. Sincerely, Jim Lentz. Our second one was from Mitch Robertson, who was president of the Chamber of Commerce 1984 and 85. During the year, our chamber initiated action to survey industrial community in conjunction with Michigan Bell. The result have helped to improve government and business relations and assist in selling our community to prospective new businesses. A retiree membership classification was initiated, and business exhibit tables were introduced into our lunches. Our membership drive resulted in 45 new members. In conjunction with the Associated Press, we published new membership directories. With pride, we presented William Mulholland with the Outstanding Business Person of the Year award. Our welcome to the Wayne sign came one step closer to completion with the final determination and design and location. Sincerely, Mitch Robertson.
Thank you, Kirk. We only have comments from 2 more presidents. One, Dave Willett, publisher of our Associated newspaper and past president. He writes, "It is with great pleasure that I add to the chorus of congratulations to the Wayne Chamber on this, their 50th anniversary. The Wayne Chamber of Commerce holds a special place in my book of memories. As a young man, I watched my father, Wesley Willett, work through the chamber to help strengthen the fiber of the Wayne community. In my 2 years as president of the Wayne Chamber, and with the aid of Donna McAkron and our board, we helped to bring about many changes for
Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. Donna, you asked me to write down a few words of my past experiences with the Wayne Chamber of Commerce, and I'm only so happy to do so. My enthusiasm for the Wayne Chamber of Commerce has never waned. I've always felt that it's a very active and viable chamber. Is vital to the good business climate of any community. I'd like to thank everyone here for their attendance tonight. I'm very apologetic that the wife and I cannot be here. We had a out-of-town business commitment that could not be changed or altered, so as a result, I'm going to try to reminisce a little bit back from the past. And I want to thank our president here for giving me the chance to come up and say a couple words. I would say a good percentage of the people here tonight are not aware of the fact that in 1957, at the corner of Glenwood and Wayne Road, a fellow named Jim Stewart and myself had an Esso franchise that we operated there in Nanking Township until December of 1960, 59 I should say. And from there we went out to South Lyon and bought a Ford Mercury dealership from Bob Hutchison. In 1963 we returned to Wayne in August 15th and bought our present Ford dealership, not the present facility, but bought the present franchise. The time we came into town, I was contacted by Cy Pittman in regards to the Chamber of Commerce, and Cy gave me a little pitch on it, and of course, as I said, I have always been very much concerned and that Wayne, and we have a very active Chamber of Commerce. So I got myself involved, only to find out that a couple of years prior, someone had tried to develop the Wayne Chamber into a real strong organization, only they had gone about it in the wrong way, and they hired a high-pressure person who alienated most of the small business people in the community, and trying to get them back into the fold, believe it was some chore. But I don't think we were completely successful, but we did keep the chamber alive and kept it moving for many years. We went through a limited new project, having moved our chamber office around several places, and we tried desperately to get J.C. Penney to come into the mall area. Number 150 Pittsburgh with Peter Mulholland, Pat Norton, Wally Aerosmith, myself, and two or three other gentlemen, and we went down to Pennsylvania to put on with us the great possibilities of their doing business in Wayne. Obviously, we were not successful. The chamber at that time had been bouncing around with it here and there, and we decided that we didn't have a few funds, but maybe we should buy our own facility so we could have one spot and maintain a visibility at that one location and be recognized as such. Through the fine cooperation of, I think, Mr. Hawley, we bought the former ice cream shop where we currently are. We developed a fundraiser, and with the support of many business people, and particularly Ford Motor Company, we were able to buy the building. And at that time, we felt we were very secure with our Chamber of Commerce. Will Gar was the secretary at that time, and Leila just did a fine job, and I know many people here remember Leila. I remember the fine job she did. When I first became president, one of the things we did was have our annual party. The first party I remember, and these were rather memorious occasions, but we had a lot of great times. One of the first ones that we had was over in Plymouth. And at that time, I think it was called the Hollywood Inn, or Hollywood Hotel. I could be wrong on that name. But we had a ball over there. We had cocktails, and we had on the outside, and we had the dining room down below, and that was a great party. Second year, we had a really super party. We had one over at Schron Inn, and we really went out because the night we had the party was the day before they got their liquor license. So they allowed us to bring our own booze over, and we had quite a ball. And I think that was where I was taking some praises to a car and started to say something about behind every good man is a good woman, and lo and behold, right in the back of the room, one of our celebrants, let us know, I welcomed Dr. Blonde up and said, and here I am. And let me tell you, you're going to fall that time for that. We had subsequent parties, we had various other functions with politicians in town, and we just had a great time with this chamber here. I want to say that as a businessman in Wayne, I always felt that we had probably science and the best administration as well as police and fire protection that you could expect from any community. Very proud to be here in Wayne. You can see expanding our leadership. We expect to be here many more years, and hopefully that
We'd like to thank Mr. Demmer and Barbara and company for their comments and presentation. I would appreciate everyone that sees Jack in the next few weeks to mention to him that Bill Garrett supported him through the entire effort. Now, if you know Jack, like I know Mr. Demmer, and I call him Mr. Demmer with a lot of respect, he is one hard-working gentleman. He is a great friend to this community, and I have never, and I've heard of a lot of us raise our voices when we get excited. I have never heard Jack raise his voice in anger. But when I get done telling everybody about the tape, maybe I'll get a chance. At this point, we would like to move on in our program to the presentation of the different congratulations and proclamations that are to be presented to the Chamber. And as I stand here and accept these different items, I want everyone to realize fully that I am just 1/50th, number 50. These proclamations and presentations are to the Wayne Chamber of Commerce. And now I'd like to turn your attention to our Honorable State Representative, James Costiva.
Good evening. I'm from the government, and I'm here to present this tribute as a, how many words was that? As a lifelong area resident, my reflections are a little bit different. I was thinking about some of my experience with the commerce and the community here in Wayne, and the following key words came to mind: Gorgo, a 1961 Ford, a Kelvinator Nash refrigerator, and a long night at the Village Bar. The connection between those terms and others are, of course, different events in my life where I had an interchange with the Wayne community and the business community. Of course, it was at the Schaefer Theater where I saw Gorgo Meets Dracula or some other noteworthy cultural film along the way, and I never forget the time that my dad and I and the rest of our family drove out of the Clarence Bell garage on Michigan Avenue with our brand new 61 Ford Galaxy, black with the white and red seats, with the full trim. Walking with my mom through the wooden floors at Kresge's or at Mulholland's. The going, of course, as we all have, to Northside Hardware at one time or another and looking for the refrigerator gasket for a Kelvinator Nash refrigerator and finding it. And maybe that long night at the Village Bar, I won't go into the details about. But it is with a great deal of personal pride and pleasure that I do speak for the governor and the legislature this evening, and of course for our noteworthy Senator William Faust, who spent a good part of his lifetime here in the Wayne community writing for the local newspaper before he moved on to the better things in the service in Lansing. So on behalf of Governor Blanchard, Martha Griffith, Lieutenant Governor, Senator William Faust, and myself, our tribute to the Wayne Chamber of Commerce. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Costiva. Our next presenter will be the Honorable Mayor of the City of Wayne, Patrick J. Norton.
Thank you, Bill. And I'll do mine without background music, if you don't mind. Get louder and louder as we go along there. I'm sure that Jack didn't realize he had that microphone next to the radio. It's a marvelous experience to be able to come here on the 50th anniversary of this very successful and well-organized Chamber of Commerce throughout the years. There's a lot of memories and a lot of thoughts that we all have in past business persons and people who have passed away, people who have committed themselves to the business community here and done a lot for this whole area of western Wayne County. We lost 3 business persons just this week, business and professional. As you know, by virtue of the Wayne Eagle, John Nothnagel died, and John was one of the premier retail business people of this community down in western Wayne County. Yesterday, Harold Hargroves died. I don't know if you all know that. And he was a business person of many, many years. And Dr. Fred Hansen died yesterday as well. So I think that's a little sad note in keeping along with this 50th anniversary. Those are all business and professional people who serve this community with a lot of distinction and a lot of dignity. And it's a fond memory in a lot of ways because they were all gentlemen who served in many ways to make this a better community. There are a lot of sad and happy things that happen. Changes are sad. Things that we just don't seem to be able to reconcile ourselves to. The community is changing, there's no question about it. It's changing in a lot of ways. There's a lot of pressures. The nation's changing, the county's changing, the state's changing. Lots of things have changed. We've had a lot of successes and a lot of failures in relationship to what we think should happen. But it's a commitment that is made out of devotion to this community and not through any sort of calculated misrepresentation. I'd like to share something with you here tonight that will not be in the newspapers for the next 2 or 3 weeks, but it's something that I think is notable amongst our community. As you know, Ford Motor Company last year announced that they were going to invest $500 million in the city of Wayne and putting a stamping plant over on Van Born. Took a lot of work, a lot of negotiations, a lot of work on behalf of Tom Daly, the city manager's staff, and the city council, and all of us worked very, very hard to bring this about, working with the DNR and Ford Motor Company. It's a $500 million investment in the city of Wayne, which is a substantial investment. I'll share with you now, Ford Motor Company took me to lunch last Friday, last week, and told me that they are now going to put another $300 million into the plant. They put $300 million into the truck plant. That'll be announced very soon, in the next 2 or 3 years, 2 or 3 weeks rather. That means that close to $1 billion is going to be invested in this community by Ford Motor Company. And the tax dollars, of course, are going to be able to be beneficial to the community in many, many ways. So we'll be announcing that very soon. I'm glad that there are no newspaper people here because Ford told me to keep that rather quiet. Why didn't you keep it too quiet? I think everybody ought to know that you people ought to know what's really happening. And they're going to put $300 million into the stamping plant, or into the Ford truck plant. And you know they bought the drive-in. They're moving out. They're going to expand the plant significantly. And then there is some other news. They are speculating too. They're buying up more property along Cogswell Road and Van Born. So this may be one of the premier industrial locations for Ford Motor Company in the state of Michigan in another 5 or 10 years. Sad note, of course, is that we have difficulty with retail. Retail is being moved to lots of other communities. Councilperson McEachran and Chairman and the Executive Director of the Chamber is working very hard to try and turn that around. I wish her a lot of luck in that. We should all give her every bit of support that we can. Because retail is a spirit. It creates a spirit in the community. Makes it feel that it's viable. Industry is wonderful, and it's the biggest taxpayer, and it helps the most. But retail business people in our lives in small towns is the vitality of the community. And I wish Ms. McEachran and her committee much luck and all our support in relationship to that. I think those are some of the things that I just wanted to bring to you. And I guess to make it a little short, I have a presentation here. I'd like to ask Councilperson McEachran, as Executive Director of the Chamber of Commerce, to come forward and present this to us, if I would. Whereas this year marks the 50th anniversary of the Wayne Chamber of Commerce, which was organized in 1938. And through the years, this organization has demonstrated in many ways the acceptance of a role of responsibility in the economic and social growth of our community. And this long record of accomplishment deserves public expression of appreciation. Therefore, I, Patrick J. Norton, by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor of the city of Wayne, do hereby present this certificate of recognition to the Chamber of Commerce of our city, extending my personal congratulations and also those of the City Council on this 50th anniversary. We urge all our citizens to be cognizant of the many contributions to this organization throughout these many years, and I'll add, we wish them a fond and a wonderful and a beneficial and a financially successful second 50 years as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have received recognition not only from government, but from other chambers of commerce. We have received a congratulatory letter from another branch of government, though, a name possibly that you might have seen on our podium out front among all of the clippings. I will read it, and then I will identify the writer. It says, "Dear friends, congratulations on this renowned occasion of the 50th anniversary of the Wayne Chamber of Commerce. Present and past members are to be commended for the cooperation and support that has existed between the city administration, the chamber, and the entire community during the last 50 years. 2 generations have prospered and grown under your leadership. The foresight of the Wayne Chamber of Commerce has been instrumental in the development of the city of Wayne. For these reasons and many others, on behalf of the people of Wayne County, I thank you and congratulate you for a job well done. Very truly yours, Edward H. McNamara, County Exec." From a body of government a bit higher, one that Will Rogers used to love to have fun with, I read the following. Wayne Chamber of Commerce, my dear friends, I want to offer my congratulations to all of the members of the Wayne Chamber of Commerce on the occasion of your 50th anniversary. You and those before you have given so much of yourselves in community service to help the businessmen and women who keep Wayne vital and alive. The citizens of Wayne owe you a great deal. With kindest regards, I am sincerely yours, William D. Ford, Congressman. And finally, from our surrounding chambers, 3 notes. One coming from the Canton Chamber. The Canton Chamber of Commerce salutes our neighbor, the Wayne Chamber, on your 50th anniversary. Your 50 years of distinguished service have benefited both the business and residential communities of Wayne. We envy your longevity, and we will reach that milestone someday. Best wishes for another 50 years of service. James E. Galiski, President. From the Executive Secretary of the Dearborn Heights Chamber of Commerce comes this note. Dear Donna, our very hearty congratulations to you, your officers and board of directors on the observance of your golden anniversary. What an accomplishment. Imagine 50 years of being everything to everybody, answering questions and requests, and retaining your composure at all functions. Not easy. Your Chamber of Commerce must be so proud to have been serving the city of Wayne and its citizens for all those years. Hope everyone concerned appreciates you. May you stay in business for many years to come, as it has been proven you are needed. Any business that operates for 50 years must be doing many things right. Again, our congratulations, the Dearborn Heights Chamber. And our final congratulatory note comes from the Belleville Area Chamber of Commerce, and it begins, Dear Donna, congratulations to the Wayne Chamber on your 50th anniversary. It is evident that the Wayne Chamber has been a tremendous asset to the development and promotion of business and the community by the various promotions and programs you support and sponsor. It has been a privilege and honor over the past years to work and share chamber business between the Wayne and Belleville Chambers. Again, congratulations and continued success. I'm sorry? Oh, we have one final. It is a presentation by Connie Shotwell.
It's not a presentation.
Job well done. Very truly yours, Edward H. McNamara, County Exec. From a body of government a bit higher, one that Will Rogers used to love to have fun with, I read the following. Wayne Chamber of Commerce, my dear friends, I want to offer my congratulations to all of the members of the Wayne Chamber of Commerce on the occasion of your 50th anniversary. You and those before you have given so much of yourselves in community service to help the businessmen and women who keep Wayne vital and alive. The citizens of Wayne owe you a great deal. With kindest regards, I am sincerely yours, William D. Ford, Congressman. And finally, from our surrounding chambers, 3 notes. One coming from the Canton Chamber. The Canton Chamber of Commerce salutes our neighbor, the Wayne Chamber, on your 50th anniversary. Your 50 years of distinguished service have benefited both the business and residential communities of Wayne. We envy your longevity, and we will reach that milestone someday. Best wishes for another 50 years of service. James E. Galiski, President. From the Executive Secretary of the Dearborn Heights Chamber of Commerce comes this note. Dear Donna, our very hearty congratulations to you, your officers and board of directors on the observance of your golden anniversary. What an accomplishment. Imagine 50 years of being everything to everybody, answering questions and requests and retaining your composure at all functions. Not easy. Your Chamber of Commerce must be so proud to have been serving the city of Wayne and its citizens for all those years. Hope everyone concerned appreciates you. May you stay in business for many years to come, as it has been proven you are needed. Any business that operates for 50 years must be doing many things right. Again, our congratulations, the Dearborn Heights Chamber. And our final congratulatory note comes from the Belleville Area Chamber of Commerce, and it begins, Dear Donna, congratulations to the Wayne Chamber on your 50th anniversary. It is evident that the Wayne Chamber has been a tremendous asset to the development and promotion of business and the community by the various promotions and programs you support and sponsor. It has been a privilege and honor over the past years to work and share chamber business between the Wayne and Belleville Chambers. Again, congratulations and continued success. I'm sorry? Oh, we have one final. It is a presentation by Connie Shotwell.
It's not a presentation.